What's up, good folks? Happy Father's Day to all of the beautiful fathers out there, all of you intentional fathers, the beautiful gentlemen who are present, who prioritize your children and do it as a lifestyle out of love and not out of a chore, right? But either way it go, even for the fellas and the gentlemen that are just trying. Happy Father's Day, poppies. Hopefully all of you guys are enjoying yourself. Really, this is your day, this is your time. And for you fathers out there, and really not, this video is not about putting conditions on it, and it's not for the bitter women who want something to say for a day that is for the fellas and for the fathers. So this is your guys' day, this is your special day, and happy Father's Day to you. I hope that you are thoroughly enjoying the day. I am outside. I'm in the neighborhood, taking a walk in the park and thoroughly enjoying the weather. It's been getting upwards to about 108, 110 in the area where I frequent, and areas that I frequent. So just trying to remember to stay cool and stay hydrated. Hopefully you guys are staying cool and staying hydrated and taking care of your body, because I'm not an expert, but heat illness is one of the leading causes of death up in the hundreds. So that's quite alarming, and people should be aware, especially if you live a very busy lifestyle. Shout out to the people in my community. I'm just, I was sitting back and thinking about a lot of things, and just thinking about how happy I am for the people who are in my community, who I care about so much, and how we're evolving and we're progressing, and how people in my community and the people that I care about, and then also the people that I love, just knowing how people are doing good, and just evolving and progressing, and reaching their goals, right? Just really happy for the accomplishments, and the things that people are doing. It feels good. It feels good when you see some of your own win. I mean, it should, right? It feels really good when you see some of your people and people in your community win, or when they they are seen and they are praised and celebrated for their accolades, just as well as how people have praised and celebrated me. It feels real good. So if you come across this video and you are my people, and I'm talking about you and describing you, that I'm talking about you, congratulations, and I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy to see you growing and thriving, and accomplishing your goals, and doing the things that you set out to do, having the things that your heart desire, and all of those things. Another reason why I wanted to make this video is because, so I thought about it. I was thinking about how the last couple videos that I uploaded, I was saying something about, I was wanting to bring awareness and remind people of the importance of how we should be, raising our children. And it's kind of a touchy it's kind of a touchy topic, because if I'm being absolutely honest, grown folks, nobody wants them to tell them how to raise their kids. So when I make videos regarding the youth and kids, it's not me trying to tell people how to parent their children, because we can all learn from one another. We can all use different pointers and advice, but at the same time, nobody really wants anybody to tell them how to raise their children, and raising children don't really come with a real playbook. It's just like a hands-on thing, and it's just a learning experience, a hands-on learning experience. But what I was trying to say when I was saying that talking about how we should be mindful of being more present, was what I was trying to say. Because as I said, I've been saying my daughter's whole life, And you know, with my background and my professional background and things, I've been saying for approximately 13 to 15 years, for as long as I've been doing this, I have made posts about it. I have told people, and it's so hard because the hard truths, a lot of times our community don't want to talk about the hard truths. But the truth is we point the finger at other people. We always talk about the other bad things that go on in our communities, but we don't really stop and just and think about, well, what role am I or we playing in the bad situations that occur in our community. So I have said time and time again, and I said again in that video, that it is important that we should police our own children if we don't want someone else doing it. We should police our own communities like some of our strong leaders were doing in the past, where it was a real strong presence, if we want to eliminate a lot of the problems, right? It all starts at home. It starts in the community. So that is what that was about. And I'm making this video because I feel very deeply and strong about the things that I've said, but I also feel very deep and strong about some of the things that has been going on as of late in this country alone, right? And then you know, a lot of times it's in very close places and neighborhoods to us as well. So you know, I thought about it and I was like, you know, I never want to be desensitized from certain things, or to say things where certain things are over intellectualized that should be handled with, you know, sensitively. What I'm trying to say is I thought about it and I was thinking to myself, well, I made a couple videos about how, you know, we should try to make sure we're being accountable and not, you know, being a part of the problem where our kids are, you know, becoming statistics or ending up in the prison system. And then I said to myself, wow, Queen Bree, you made that video with a certain intention, but then in, you know, in the grand scheme of things and in general, and what's circulating in the media and in society is stories like this beautiful young brother named Karmelo Anthony. Simultaneously, Karmelo Anthony previously was indicted, I believe. He was sentenced to 35 years for what looks like would have been self-defense. And then again, simultaneously, there was another story of an Asian man who ran down ran down another young brother and actually murdered him. But I keep saying this word simultaneously. Both of these stories and many other stories are going on and happening, and one of them seems to be a complete injustice, and in my mind it is a complete injustice, where the Asian man actually deleted and eliminated a young black man, another young beautiful black brother. And then, you know, Karmelo Anthony, what appears to us is him defending himself. He actually got sentenced not too long ago. And then here I am trying to, you know, make sure that what I am doing as far as what I'm doing in the community and what is important to me, making sure that I am providing and expressing balanced messages in what I'm sharing, because I'm a Libra through and through, and balance is everything for us. But also, we're very diplomatic type people, and we're very offended by injustices. So that's pretty much what this video is about. So, you know, maybe some people who you know, follow my videos, and those of you who have subscribed, I appreciate you so much. And maybe you're wondering, what is my perspective on that? Well, I've been wanting to say for a while, but the thing with me is that I like to try to get the facts of of certain cases and stories, and try to get certain information. If I'm being absolutely honest with you guys, I haven't absolutely done my due diligence. I haven't done a lot of research, but have I heard a lot of you know, facts and details of the case? Yes. There's a lot that seems very inconsistent with the Karmelo Anthony case, and I would like to share my perspective. Now, I understand the judicial system. I understand that according to the law in the book, there are certain laws for certain states. I understand that some states, there's a make my day law where you can defend yourself. There's in some states, there's really not a make your day law. The self-defense laws is really narrow. So I understand that there is the law, but I also understand, and I am conscious and aware that the law is not necessarily in favor of people that look like me, and that's just the honest to God truth. So as it relates to the Karmelo Anthony case, and as just the details and the things that I have collected, the data that I have collected thus far, and what I have seen, the way that I feel about it is, as a mother and as a godmother of a son, as a auntie of boys, as a sister to many brothers, biological and not biological, many men in my community, right? Many brothers. And I mean brothers, like literal black men, black princes and black kings, and people that look like me. I understand that it's not even about being a victim. It's about the awareness and knowing that 9 times out of 10, the law is not really written and works in our favor. And that's what I feel as though deeply that we have seen what is evident in this case. Now, some people will say, well, according to the law and according to the details, people keep repeating that this young brother, Karmelo Anthony, he went into his backpack to get a pocket knife. And if that is true, then I know in certain states that, the court system or the law, the prosecution, the people who are picking apart the case will want to know, did the individual have the opportunity to walk away? Did the individual have the opportunity to leave? And of course, that's something that continues to be repeated because as far as the law and the eyes of the law, that is something that they're going to consider. So when you talk about the law, that's something that I would say, where people will lean more towards. I haven't reviewed and gotten a lot of information as far as more facts of the case. I just keep hearing that as something that people keep repeating. But they also said that this young brother was approached in his own area or tent by a few other guys, young guys, who came to approach him and came to start a fight. So again, this is the thoughts these are the thoughts and the feelings that's coming from not only a black woman, but a black mother, and quite frankly, a black mother to many is the way that I feel about it. But again, a black mother to a godson, to godsons, a black mother to nephews, and a whole community, right? So my thing is, the problem is the issues that we already have in our communities, right? Where people are targeting black folks, but then more specifically black men. If you go online and you look and you do your homework and you research, you'll see that there's videos where there's this white guy who is walking up on this black man, and he's with his family. He walks up on him and he's going into the grocery store, he's minding his own business, but this white dude is walking up to him and he's antagonizing him, and he's bothering him and challenging him to a fight. And you can see the brother continuously telling him, like, hold on, man, like, yo, back up, going about your business. But he's constantly taunting him and antagonizing him, where the brother actually had to physically defend himself. That's a problem. Then there's the Karmelo Anthony situation. There's the situation with the Asian man who killed the young brother, and he wasn't even convicted. He actually got off, and again, simultaneously. So what does this say about the judicial system in America? People keep saying they're talking about protesting. I'm seeing videos of sisters talking about protesting Asian businesses and talking about, we see what they do now, we waking up, now we see. And it's like, no, we're not now waking up, and it's not now we see. This is not anything. The things that we're experiencing now and the social injustices that we see, that we perceive is wrong, is not things that we have, that we're just now experiencing and that we're just now seeing. Absolutely not. Our ancestors have, and our forefathers, and the people who have built this country, and the people who have survived slavery, and the people who are the descendants of slaves, right, can attest to and can witness that these things have been happening for a long time, and then continuously it continuously happened on different levels. So it seems as though people are feeling as though it's okay to bother and to antagonize Black people, and that's why people keep hearing the hashtag leave Black people alone, leave Black people alone. There's even a I believe there's even an Instagram page that says leave Black people alone, and then they say, oh, Black people, oh, because we tired, and they say, oh, we tired and we getting tired. And the thing is like, well, on what level do you mean that we're tired? Because the last time I checked, we were already tired a long time ago. Our ancestors was tired, our direct ancestors, our elders, our leaders, they've been tired. And then, you know, a lot of times we are, you know, the direct descendants of, you know, these great people, the ones who were leaders in our communities, and the ones who got stuff done, right? You know, many of our ancestors, we carry that DNA when we, you know, come through our mother's womb and portal. You know, we already have that in us. So people saying, oh yeah, because we're getting tired, or we tired, like we just got tired. Come on, man. So when you talk about situations like Karmelo Anthony, someone said, why would he's a high school student, and he was at a high school game. Why would he need a pocket knife? Well, maybe he felt as though he needed a pocket knife to defend himself if the situation presented itself where he felt the need to defend himself. Maybe he had already had issues with people in his environment or in his community, right? So there are people who actually come up in environments and live in certain places where they are raised to defend themselves. There are people who go and they go train in different places in the country and in the world. And there are people such as myself who is registered gun owners who carry a gun religiously, lawfully, legally, right? So, okay, well, they say, well, was he allowed to carry a pocket knife at school, and what would he need a pocket knife at school for? So I'm not condoning bad behavior, but what I am saying is I'm making this video, and I am expressing my thoughts as a Black mother. Sometimes not having it or not defending yourself is not good enough, because we all know, everybody that's paying attention and everybody that's tapped in and that are conscious know damn well that every time we don't defend ourselves, we already know what the alternative is, or we already know what quite the contrary looks like. So, you know, like I said, I made, you know, a couple videos or a few videos, and I was talking about self-defense and us defending ourselves, and quite frankly, I stand on that. I don't feel any different way about that, and I don't take it back. I said what I meant, and I meant what I said. And, you know, I don't understand why people or one wouldn't understand that. There is an energy and there is an atmosphere and a thickness of people who are coming into a certain type of information about black folks, and we're living in a day and time of information, the age of Aquarius, enlightenment, and the truth is being revealed. And while it's being revealed to people like me, where certain truths bring sorrow, it's also bringing a lot of anger and aggravation to people who are not African American or non-black people, who are learning the truths about them and the truths about us. And that's pissing them off because everybody was lied to, right? So let's talk about that. When there is a people who are in survival mode and they were taught and trained and programmed and brainwashed and hypnotized of a certain type of so-called illusion of a superiority, and they find out that quite the contrary is the truth, they don't like that. And then they'll say, oh, you're a black person, you're a black indigenous person, and you love yourself, and you're talking about building your community, and you're talking about, everything that is empowering of your community. Oh, you're a racist. Oh, they'll say any and everything to try to keep you from evolving and to keep you from empowering yourself and your people. And then even when it comes to the laws and the Constitution that was written so that, it is okay for people, for us to defend ourselves, a lot of times that isn't even, that's not even legal in the eyes of the law when it comes to someone who is black, right? But again, we deal with a lot of hate from people and a lot of jealousy and envy. And a lot of times these people, they have more than some of our people. And they literally hate the fact that they are finding out the truth about who we are for real. Instead of just saying, we all can coexist and we all can, live in peace and harmony. It's no, I want to antagonize you. No, I want to continue to try to keep up an illusion of some type of superiority. It's not about feeding the continuing to feed the illusion of a superiority or that the man is the problem in things. I'm not on that. That's not what I am trying to express when I'm speaking on these topics. I'm talking about what my awareness is of what I see. It's not that I feel as though anybody is better than me and mine, that I feel that anyone is more superior than me and mine, especially when I know who I am. And I mean, really know who I am. I don't feel inferior to anybody, but some people do. And that is a part of the reason why we deal with the things that we deal with, because not only do these people know who we are and they feel a way about it, but also they want to try to antagonize and get a rise out of us so that they can say, I told you so, or so that they can try to bait you into catching a case. That's what's going on. So while we are, doing the things that we need to do to protect ourselves from these people who have the mindset of the enemy, of the devil. They have that dark, demonic, hateful energy towards black people. They're racist or they're prejudiced or they're jealous or they're envious and they feel away. Yeah, we have to keep in mind that we should continue to always remain prepared if the situation presents itself, like the racist man who drove past a family of people who were attending a family reunion, and he comes back with an assault rifle and starts shooting at them with body armor. Yeah, let me not leave that out because I shared that, but I definitely don't want to leave that out in this video. But again, in the during our day-to-day lives, and we go on about our day-to-day lives living in absolute peace and harmony and minding our own damn business, even though we're always making sure we remain prepared, because there are people who are silently hidden in certain places who really don't like us, who's literally plotting, or they just itching and they can't wait because they have that conditioning, but they also have that certain level of illness and a certain level of hatred. I'm always encouraging people to make sure that that they stay prepared and that they have, their defenses up, but always keeping in mind too that, we have to remember to choose our battles wisely and pick our battles. Be careful, because a lot of times these people are trying to bait you. They are trying to bait us. So really not lowering our energy and frequency to the level of a dummy, or those who think that those who are very foolish, who thinks that you are the fool, right? So, like I used to say, outwitting the devil. Playing the fool sometimes, playing the fool to the fool who thinks that you're the fool, right? In this instance, we're talking about people who are literally trying to bait you, and they're really trying to knock you out your spot. You better believe that it is bringing up a lot of resentment and a lot of hatred in these people who don't like you to begin with. To know, you think that we know, a lot of times they know us better than we know ourselves. And when they find out more and more about the truth of who the real people who are God's chosen people, and the real truth about the black man and woman, a lot of people are just not going to like it. And this is not the first time that I said it. I said it a long time ago. This is a part of the problem. Even when I made that video and I said, I don't think that it's empowering for people to be going on the internet, creating videos and crying, talking about what did we do and why, I get it. If you in your feelings and you really want to know whatever, I don't think that you should ask an enemy, and maybe you just don't know, and maybe you're just not aware. And that's kind of sad, because you should be. And every black person should know the history of this certain type of enemy, and these certain type of people who carry these certain type of energies, and this hatred and this resentment towards our people. I don't think that it's a smart move for you to be crying and trying to ask the enemy why, and the whole victim and the crocodile tears, because this is not something that just started. Okay, this is not what we're dealing with, and all of the little things, because it's on so many different levels, but it's all it all stems from the same thing. There are some people on this earth that really do not like us. They literally have so much hatred towards us, but there's a lot of people who really rock with us, and people who really love and they admire us and they venerate us and they look at us like gods and goddesses. But on the other hand, on the flip side, there's a lot of people who don't. So, all of the crying and why, and the crocodile tears and things, that's not empowering, and we really don't need to do that. I don't think that, that's the solution. I don't think that anybody who knows their enemy should be trying to ask them why, or even trying to come to a resolve when you already know what's going on. As I said before, I'll say it again, collect the data and keep it pushing. Collect the data. When you have the data and you are aware, and when you come to a certain type of awareness, and you gather wisdom from that, and you learn from that. So if you learn, then you move different. It's kind of like that. When you know better, you do better. Stop asking your enemy why. Stop asking people for things that don't love you and don't care about you. It doesn't make any sense, and quite frankly, you're not going to get anywhere. And then for the people who are online, whether that's Asian people or whoever, they getting online and they call themselves trying to talk bad about black people, and they're trying to antagonize black people, and they're trying to talk against black people. Y'all look real stupid as hell, and y'all look silly, and y'all really need to stop, because in all actuality, a lot of the stuff that we see on the internet is not even real. It's not even, they don't keep the same energy in person. And even on, on a whole different scale, I said in one video, I said, black folks, we don't have no friends for real, right? But one thing that I know, that is one thing for sure and two for certain, that energy that people are keeping on the internet to make it seem like they're trying to go against our community and trying to challenge us and all of these other different things. When I walk out of my door, when I go in certain businesses, wherever I go, I never get that same energy that I see on the internet. So the awareness, y'all, it's the awareness. We have to be aware that a lot of times people are trying to create a certain type of drama. They're trying to create certain wars in different places, and we have to be aware of that, because at the end of the day, if nobody is really stepping to you, and they just do all of this because people doing a lot of talking on the internet. There's a lot of internet experts. Everybody got a PhD and everything, And then, like I said, there is a lot of people who are trying, they are doing their due diligence, and they try so hard to create division. Now, I love black people, but if I'm being quite honest, I think I've said it before, and I'm gonna say it again because I'm actually proud to say this. I love black people. I love myself. I love my black mom. I love my black mama. I love my black daddy. I love my black grannies, my black grandfathers, and my family, my aunties, uncles, cousins, children, everybody, right? Nieces and nephews, everybody. But the fact of the matter is, if anybody know Queen Bree for real, y'all know that I'm not saying that I'm for everybody, but generally I think that the way that I move is I give respect just off the dribble, right? I give respect just off the dribble, because everybody in their humanness, I just feel as though you get respect because I don't know you. I look at you, you're a human, I respect you until you give me a reason not to respect you. And that's how I move. So I love good people. And some of the most beautiful people that have trained me, that I have worked with, that I have slept under their roof, that has helped that has helped me, or they have played a part in my life, they're not black. So some people probably say, oh, they look at my videos, oh, she's pro-black and she don't like, anybody that's outside of her race, and she's racist. How dare you? First and foremost, that's ignorant. And two, obviously, those are some people that really don't know Bree. They don't know me. But, I don't have to explain why it is that I love black people and why it is that I do what I do. Again, like I said many times, I'll say it again. What's understood doesn't have to be explained. I love black people. I love myself. I love my people. I love my community. I love my family. I love those that love me. I almost got emotional because it's really sad because, as a community, black folks, we have a lot of work to do. And, I think that all of us could come together in any which way that you feel to try to help, in one hand wash the other, right? We all can help build something great and beautiful. But that just goes to show you how important and how significant we are when people are just all up on our bumper, right? They can't keep us off of their mind. And then they'll do things online to try to create further division. When it's not even, it's not even a reality. A lot of the stuff that we see on the internet, it's not even, it's just not what it is. It's not what it is, right? So I encourage, my brothers and sisters, black folks, the people who look like me to, don't take the bait. If it's time for you to handle your business and don't be scared to handle your business. But at the same time, don't be tricked out of a good thing with good people that may not be of the same, that may not look like us, just because people are online trying to create division and things. That's so lame. It's so petty. You know what I mean? It's so lame and it's so petty. But I'm so proud of us. I'm so proud to be a Black Indigenous woman. And I'm excited about the things that I'm doing. I'm excited about the things that a lot of our people are doing. People, they hate it when they can't get a response out of you. They hate it when they can't get a rise out of you, a response from the evil and the negative things that they're trying to create. And the wars that they're trying to create. It's all an illusion. And then it's like a whole bunch of people online, like little toddlers, who want their way and they want they just want drama and they want mess. They feed off of that. There's people in this world who, they would be nobodies if they didn't have drama, if they didn't have negativity, if they couldn't if they couldn't be deceitful, if they couldn't manipulate, if they couldn't create chaos and confusion. They literally thrive in chaos and confusion. If they couldn't try to piss off somebody else's day, or they couldn't try to create division and chaos in somebody else's world, they wouldn't feel like nothing at all, right? They say misery loves company, baby. And that is so true. Misery loves company. So just remember that. And I don't care if it's people that look like, that look like me. if you carry a certain type of energy, if you're a miserable person, or you're trying to, create more division, or you're trying to create confusion and chaos, and you want to manipulate, and you want to, you want to dump your misery off on other people, I urge you, just keep your distance and stay away from me. And like I said, I don't care if it's people that look like me. There's just certain things and certain people that I refuse to be around. I will prefer to be around people who make me feel good, who make me feel safe, and obviously I could feel safe around them, and then they feel safe around me, and then we can coexist like that, versus trying to force relationships and connections with people who look like me, but they're either threatened by me, or they feel they make me feel a way that they just don't make me feel good. So, people who know me also know that I'm big on energy. I'm big on energy. And I know sometimes some people may say my energy is kind of rough, or it might be heavy or whatever, but people that know me genuinely, people who really rock with me, they love me for real, because they know me and they know me for real. So yeah, I'm all about the energy and how people make me feel. I don't care, like I said, if you look like me. I know that we have a lot of work to do. A lot of us in our communities, we have a lot of work to do. And with that compassion and that knowing, that awareness, that empathy, I can work with that, and I can love, I can still, sometimes we have to love people to their highest capacity. But I'm telling you, people that are on a certain energy and a certain, they're in a certain type of way, and they, a lot of times it's our intuition. You don't make me feel good, you got to move around. Either you're going to move around or I'm going to move around. So, some people, we talk about Black empowerment and all these things Black, and I love it. But if I'm keeping it absolutely totally real, some of our people has created the most trauma for one another. So if we're going to continue to build and work together and love on each other and sharing things, let's make sure that we're safe for one another, right? And not doing, weird stuff, or, I don't even really want to get too far into that, because that's a whole nother video. I came on here and I'm creating this video because I just really wanted to share my feelings, my thoughts and feelings and deep concerns for the brother Karmelo Anthony. I can't help but wonder how he feels, because the way that I feel is that a human instinct sometimes is defending yourself, because we understand, or should I say I understand, that sometimes depending on what you're dealing with, you're either going to fight, excuse me, let me make sure I'm getting it right. You're either going to fight, you're going to flee, or you're going to freeze, right? So if the brother felt, threatened, and he felt like he needed to defend himself in a certain type of way, and now he's sitting on lockdown, he's in this institution, how does that make him feel, feeling, oh, I was only doing what I felt that I had to do at the time, and I defended myself, and I was wrong, and now the world is making me out to be a monster? So while people are being real nasty and being ugly and negative, throwing dirt on this brother's name, let's remember that he is a minor, one, and two, we can't really talk about, and we can't talk bad about him and try to demonize this brother, because first of all, we weren't there and we don't know how he was feeling. So as a mother, again, I feel for you. I feel for his family. And at the end of the day, I'm going to end this video with, people need to leave Black people alone, for real. Just like people have said, the hashtag and that page on Instagram, I rock with that all day. People need to leave Black people alone. If you can't love on us, if you can't work with us, if we can't collaborate, then it's deuces. And I don't think that we will have any issues about it. We can literally part ways and go our separate ways, and there will be no issue about it. So again, happy Father's Day to all the beautiful poppies. Everybody, I hope y'all enjoy y'all day. Again, like I always say, keep your head on a swivel, stay woke, stay aware, and have a blessed day. Ashe.